Right. All right, guys. Welcome back for the practice problems on the notes here for lesson two. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is another rectangular prism. Now this is a little bit more clear because the rectangles are the basis, or sorry, the not rectangular, triangular prism. The triangles are the basis, so you can obviously see that this has to be our height. So let's go ahead and first call it what it is. It's a triangular prism. So again, the triangle is going to be my base, and that's kind of how it is for all of these practice problems. So rectangle was my base, rectangular prism. Triangle was my base, triangular prism. This is a hexagon, so this is going to be a hexagonal prism. And then this is a circle. Now, this is not a circular prism. This is a cylinder, I-N-D-E-R. And then this is a not a quadrilateral. It's going to be a trapezoidal. Trapezoidal prism. Trapezoidal prism. All right. So I've got all those names. So let's go ahead and just start this. All right. Area of the base. Easy peasy. They gave us already our two sides. So our sides are just going to be 7 times 24 divided by 2. 7 times 24 divided by 2. That should be 84 inches squared. Perimeter. Well, in order for us to find the perimeter of the base, we need to find this. So time for hypotenuse or Pythagorean theorem. If you don't, however, I do know this triple. This is a 7, 24, 25 triple. So I'm just going to do that. However, if you need to, go ahead and use Pythagorean theorem. 7, 24, 25 means that we're just going to go ahead and add these. And we get 56 inches squared. The height of the prism is 8 inches, and now we have all the information to find the lateral area and the surface area. So the lateral area is just your perimeter times height. So in this case, my perimeter is 856, so perimeter times height, that's 56 times 8, which ends up being 448 inches squared. And again, 56 times 8. Now the surface area, remember, is going to be your lateral area, pH, plus your two bases, the one on top and the one at the bottom. So this is going to be 448 plus 2 times my base, which the area of my base was 84. So 2 times 84, which means that I do 448 plus 168 is 616 inches squared. And that's it. We got it. Let me change color. I'm getting monotonous here. All right. Moving on to the hexagonal prism. Well, the hexagonal prism is going to be the area of the base. So area of the base, let's find it. For those who don't remember, the area of the base of a hexagon is going to be well, area is equal to 6 times the area of a equilateral triangle, which ends up being side squared times square root of 3 over 4. Thick, in this case, my side length, oh, no, I'm just going to leave that up here. Area of the hexagon. So let's go ahead and find that. Um, actually, yeah. So area of my base here is going to be, um, man, we had an easier way of doing this, but that's okay. Actually, let's go ahead and do it the easy way. So, I'm thinking ahead, and this is what I get for thinking of making my video 3 days in advance. The area of the base here, what we can end up doing is just the perimeter times the apothem. Now, the reason I kind of, you know what? Let's just do it this way. It's going to give us the same answer. 8 squared root 3 over 4. Sorry for getting off track, but this happens all the time. So I don't know what 6 times 64 divided by 4 would be. So 6 times 64 divided by 4, I got 96. And then we keep our root 3. Awesome. So we found my area of my hexagon being 96 root 3. And again, how did I get 96? Well, I did 6 times 8 root 2 over 4. And then you can always just multiply that by root 3 to leave it as your perfect answer. And this should be in centimeters squared. The perimeter of the base is going to be, well, just the perimeter, 8 times 6, because it's a hexagon. So 8 times 6, so 6 times 8, let's say, 48 centimeters. The height here, now this is something that we do, right here. I thought we had to calculate it. I did not see it for a second. My height is 2 centimeters. And again, I think the ones that are going to confuse some students are the ones that are on their sides and that these are not the base. But this is going to be the base. It's just on its side. So the height is 2. So lateral area is my perimeter times my height. 96 centimeters squared. Found my first area. And now my surface area is that area plus 2b, my two bases. To be or not to be. 96 plus 2 times my base area. My base area is 96 root 3. So 96 root 3. And we end up getting, well, that's just going to be an ugly number. It's going to be 96 plus 192. Not ugly, but you know what I mean. It's this answer is not something that we generally, I know as students like to see this type of answer scare us, and that's okay. There you go. That would be my answer here. You just do 96 plus 192 root 3 centimeters squared. If you put this in your calculator, you will get roughly 428.6 centimeters squared, rounded to the 10. All right. We've got 3 more problems to go. Now, let's go ahead and do the cylinder. Now, the cylinders are cool, and generally you'll be given the radius and the height. Here, let's go ahead and just go ahead and mark them. So my radius here is going to be 4, and the height is 12. Great. All right. So area of the base. So remember, area of the base is apple pies are squared. Um, so so area is going to be pi r squared, right? Area equals pi r squared. So or pi or r squared times pi. So in this case, it's pi times 4 squared, which is just 16 pi centimeters squared. The perimeter is the circumference. So you just, again, I like to think of it as bringing this 2 up to the front. So the circumference is 2 pi r. So 2 times pi times r. In this case, r is 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer here will be 8 pi centimeters. The height of the prism, well, they told us is 12. So 12 centimeters, easy peasy. So now we can find our lateral area. Our lateral area is just going to be 2 pi r times height. 2 pi r times height. So 2 pi r, wait, what am I doing here? It's 8r, 8 pi. We already found the perimeter. 8 pi times, and actually, let's go ahead and just use 2 pi r times height here. Again, you can still use here the same exact thing, right? Pi times height, or perimeter times height. We have the perimeter, so it's just going to be 8 pi times 12, which gives you 96. But if you use 2 pi r times height, you will end up getting the exact same answer. 2 pi r is times 4 times height is 12. That's 2 times 4 is 8 times 12 is 96. Um, pi centimeters squared. But yes, could I have done perimeter? Because we have the perimeter, or essentially the circumference of the circle times height. Yeah, you could have absolutely done that. You would have done 8 pi times 12, giving you 96. Found my first answer, 96 pi centimeters squared. And now let's go ahead and find my surface area. So remember, my surface area is just going to be 2 pi r times height plus the two areas, so 2 times pi r squared. So did I find those? Yes, I did, right? So we can just go ahead and just use these, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. We found out that 2 pi r times height is 96, so 96 pi, and then 2 pi r squared is 16, so we want double of 16. Why did I write 12? Double of 16. Um, and uh, and I said 16 because I don't know. This should be 16 pi. So 96 pi plus 32 pi is going to give you 128 pi centimeters squared. So be very careful. It can be very easy to lose pies all over the place, especially because it looks like a letter sometimes. Do not lose your pies, guys. Do not lose your pies. All right, that's gonna be that one. Let's change this to purple, and let's do the trapezoidal prism. The trapezoidal prism. Again, my base is the trapezoid, so we need to see that this is going to have a base of 4. So the area of my trapezoid, remember it's the average of your bases. So let's go ahead and take that. 4 plus 12 divided by 2 times height. And in this case, we don't have our height. So how can we find our height? Well, the way that we can find our height is just by going ahead and notice this is an isosceles trapezoid. So because it's an isosceles trapezoid, the triangles on the right corner there are going to be congruent. Because this has to be x and this has to be x, right? I know what that length has to be. Because again, this 5 is going to be congruent to here, so this has to be 5. The height we don't know, but we do know this base, which is just going to be 12 minus 4, right? The whole thing is 12. We got to take away this 4. So we've got 8, which means that x has to be 4, and this has, or x and x have to both be 4, right? 12 minus 4 gave us our leftover here and here. So this is equal to 2x. 8 is equal to 2x. So when we divide it by 2, x is 4, which was this and this. Okay. Looks like this is going to be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So my height is going to be 3. And again, these aren't to scale. So that's again perfectly fine that they are not. But it's going to be 4 plus 12. So base plus my other base divided by 2 times my height being 3. So that's 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. And I'm not going to put units. Oh, whatever. Let's just put units square. The perimeter is to just add them all up. Well, if this is 12, this is 5, this is 5, and this is 4, well then 12 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 gives me 26 units. The height we've already established is 3 units. So now my lateral area is going to be the perimeter times the height. The perimeter was 26 times my height is 3, which we end up getting. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not 3. Remember, this is the height of my trapezoid, not the height of my prism. So don't be like me. Be better. My height is 8. And then my height now becomes 208. 208 units square on our first area, my lateral area. Now my surface area is going to be my lateral area pH plus my two bases, the one at the base and the one on the bottom, the one on the top and the one on the bottom, or in this case, the one on the far at the front and the one in the back. We have both of those. Those are 24. Or we have 24 for the basis. We have 208 for the lateral area. So then 208 plus 2 times 24, and that should give us 256 units squared. There we go. Great. So we're almost done. We got one more left. It's going to be this type of problem here. Find the height of the right rectangular prism with surface area of 456 meters squared. Length is 12. Width is 7. So it doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't have to be to scale, but I'm going to put the longer side down here. And this was in meters. Yeah. And 7 meters. And H is going to be my height here. Okay. So remember that the way that we get the surface area of this is, again, the lateral area multiplied by the height, or I guess lateral area plus 2b. The way that we get the lateral area is doing the perimeter times the height. So let's go ahead and find our first area. Yeah, let's find, you know what? The first thing that I'm going to start with, though, just because, again, we need to find this and we need to find this. So let's start just by doing the same stuff that we do here. I think keeping this same order will help us out in the long run. So 12 times 7, so let's find my base. My base area is going to be 12 times 7, which is 84 meters squared. And now we can find the perimeter, right? That's the second thing, perimeter of the base. 12 times, or sorry, we have two of these, and we've got two of these. So 2 times 12 plus 2 times 7 gives us 24 plus 14, which is 38 meters. And I'm going to go ahead and erase this here. Let's leave this a little smaller. 38 meters. Found my base, found my perimeter. Now remember, surface area, we have it up here. Surface area is equal to perimeter times height plus 2b. We have the perimeter, we've got the base, and we don't have the height, but we do have the surface area. So surface area was provided right here. So surface area is 456. This is going to equal my perimeter, which we got to be 38, times height. We don't know my height, but we do know my base. My base is 84. 456 is equal to 38 times height plus 168. And now we just solve for height. Minus 168 on both sides. What is that going to be? 288. Divide by 38. And we get 7.6 is equal to height. And this is again rounded to the 10th in its meters. And we did it. We found it. We did it. Let's go ahead and do this in a color that is clear. All right. Thank you for sticking around, guys. I know this was really long. I hope everything was clear. Please do not hesitate to send any questions and have a great day. I will see you guys on Thursday.